are you doing? I'm happy because I have reached level 70 as a culinarian and I get to unlock dwarf crafting quests. So here we go. More dwarf stuff. Bugger my beard, you scared the life out of me. For a moment, I thought you were a hobgoblin. Seems being so far from Tamra has gotten me jumping at shadows. Hold on, I know you. You're the one who was helping Ronit. As for me, the name's Regit. I forgot to introduce myself before, but I was there when that little lad gave his first proper lalio. What, you don't remember me? In all fairness, the fact that you're covered from head to toe in identical outfits does make it a little difficult to tell one dwarf from the next. Well, they have their ways and we have ours. Anyway, it's wonderful to see you again, yo. Reggie was just asking for directions. I'd almost forgotten about that. Actually, I was on my way to, what was it called? Crystal Town? No, that's not it. Something to do with crystals. Why can't I remember the sodding name? You see, Rana is nowhere to be found. He did leave a note behind in Tamra, though. Yes, the letter. I have it right here. To whoever might be concerned, I am off to the Crystarium to find my first and best friend, Yo. If the chief asks where I've gone, just make something up. The automata will take care of my work, so he should have no reason to complain. Oh, and don't forget to feed them while I'm away. With coal, that is. Bye. That's what it says anyway. That boy may have mastered the fine art of good old-fashioned lolly-ho, but that won't get him very far in the Crysteria, or whatever it's called. Yes, and even if the opening pleasantries go as planned, it's what comes after that matters most. He'd be the first to admit that polite conversation isn't exactly his forte. Since he went there looking for Yo, maybe the two of you could go find him before he gets into or causes any trouble. That reminds me, will Ronit being away lead to any difficulties in Rock Frostgate for Grog arrangement between our villages? The Orenhound ogre he built seems to be going about his work as normal, even without him here to operate it, so I think we'll be fine for the time being. Alright, that settles it. We're off to find Ronit. Although I should probably point out that this is actually the first time I've gone more than a malm or so outside of Tamra. I'm counting on you, so please try to keep the mishaps and misadventures to a bare minimum. Not that I'm scared, mind you. Oh, not one bit. Without any further ado, let's make haste for the Crystarium. And we wish you both a safe journey to the Crystarium. I must admit, I don't envy you having to keep an eye on that one, but do tours in one place like the Crystarium? Who knows what sorts of trouble they'll get into. I have a feeling it won't take long to find him. For better or worse, tourists have a habit of drawing attention wherever they go. I've never seen so many people in one place. Unfortunately, not one of them is our errant engineer. Where could he be? I wouldn't be surprised if he's whimpering in some corner, wishing he'd never come here. With all these big folk wandering about, he's probably scared one of them will trip over him. Well, slap my arse and call me a polka. You're the second honest-to-God dwarf I've seen this morning. Really? So where was the first? Over at the mean, playing hide-and-seek by the looks of it, or maybe he was just lost. That's him. Gotta be. Sorry about that. That's him, it's gotta be. Come on, yo, let's go nab him before he runs off again. Oh, nice, I can unlock leaves and stuff. So this is the mean, eh? From the name I thought it would be full of scowling faces, but they all seem quite friendly. Anyway, where'd Ronrit get to? Ha, found him. So many of them, so sodding tall. I wish Yo was here. Yo detected. Yo. Of course. Oh, watch it, short arse. Dick. So, when you heard that Yo is staying in the Crystarium, you came here looking for her. That's quite the journey for one so young. Getting there was easy. Starting conversation, that's what's hard. Every time I try giving someone a good old-fashioned lolly-o, they look at me like I'm daft or something. Never mind all that. You found Yo in the end. Or she found you, more like. Come to think of it, why were you looking for her in the first place? It's simple, really. I always thought Yo was just a, I don't know, helpful traveler or some such. But the chief tells me that she's a hero who risked her life and limb to save the world. When I heard that, I thought that it's only right that I do the same. Trouble is, I'm not sure where to start, but I'm not going back to Tamra until I find a way to prove myself your equal. And while I'm not much of a fighter, there are other ways I can help those in need, because unlike the rest of my village, who can't think beyond their next pint of ale, I've got big dreams, ambitions. Now, there's nothing wrong with a well-earned drink or 10 after a hard day's work, but that's besides the point. How can you hope to compete with someone like Yo? He might be known as the greatest warrior the world's ever seen. But there's one thing I can do better than you. Crafting. I've been known to dabble in artistry myself. What? You must be joking. Now there's a surprise. Had I known sooner, I'd have asked your help around the mean. If you have a moment to spare, come and save me. I've all sorts of tasks lined up for a master craftswoman. Must have been one of the blue quests I saw. Trust me, to make friends with one of those annoying people who's good at everything. Suppose there's no need to make it into a competition, though. Why don't we, what's the word? Cooperate? There might be someone around here who needs our help. How about you, miss? Got anything that needs mending? Or maybe one of my patented automata can carry a few menial tasks? Where to begin? We did receive a report a few days ago of a caravan of merchants being attacked by roving sin eaters not far from Solon. While they were able to escape without any casualties, they had no choice but to abandon almost all of the produce they were transporting. I fear it's only a matter of time until it happens again. Is there anything you can do? Sin eaters? Bugger that. This Fetchomatic mechanoid might come in handy. A few extra spiky bits should do the trick. On second thought, it might take more than that. I'll need somewhere to use as a workshop to carry out some modifications. You mean to say you build these yourself? It certainly is imposing. In a way, only a three-wheeled mechanic can be. Now there's a fine compliment if I ever heard one. I think this example of dwarven engineering was lovingly crafted by young Ronnet here. He's a descendant of the great blacksmith whyartz, and well on his way to becoming the pride of Tamar in his own right. Yes, judging by the quality of his work, I can see why. In fact, I have a proposal. If you're willing to lend us your expertise, we can arrange space for you to use a workshop. Really? When I say space, that's essentially all there is. We planned to build a storehouse near the Elstal Imperia, but we had to divert our resources elsewhere, and it was never completed. It seems to me you put it to good use. After all, a friend of yours is a friend of ours. That's very generous of you, miss. I'll turn that place into a first-class workshop in 2 shakes of a newborn's beard. Excellent. I'll inform those at the Imperative so they aren't too surprised when automata start appearing out of the blue. I suggest you make yourself known to Lorethia, who owns the land. She's a regular at Clairmet Springs, so try there first. Sounds like some meeting and greeting is in order. I reckon it'll go a lot smoother if you're there to cover for me in the likely event I put my foot in somehow. I also have no bloody idea how to get there, so lead the way. I'll finish this first, then I'll come back for that. Beep boop. These hot springs look awfully hot. I'd go for a dip myself, but I'm worried my head would boil inside my helmet. Thinking it offers is out of the question, obviously. So, this is Clement, eh? Funny name for a bunch of rocks and a couple of ponds, if you ask me. More importantly, where's that Lorithia person? You there, old crone. I'm looking for Lorithia. Lorithia. You know where she is? Call me an old crone again and I'll rip that silly beard off and shove it down your throat, you mouthy little gobshite. But if it's Lorithia you're looking for, what do you want? You're looking at her. What do you want? Catless sent you, did he? If she thinks you're alright, that's good enough for me. So tell me, what are you planning to make in this workshop of yours? And don't go thinking you can impress me with a load of technical jargon. I was an engineer myself, you know. I'm gonna modify this here autonomon so that it can transport goods and keep them safe from sin eaters. It won't be transporting much of anything with those stubby little arms, let alone fend off attackers. And even if it could store goods in its torso, by the time it's done windmilling into the bastards, all of those wares will have been shaken to buggery. Good luck the poor sods who have to sell that. Yeah, but the windmilling's the best part. Run it, the old woman has a point, you know. Less of the old, or I'll use that beard of yours to scrub the baths with the rest of you still attached. So, we need a way to carry as much as possible while stirring the sin eaters from a distance. That's it. Everyone gather round. Whoa. Wicked white. It's so old, the ink's probably the only thing holding it together. The design's from the days before the flood, the brainchild of great Watts himself. It's a self-propelled transportation device armed to the teeth. I call it the rolling tankard. Its thick iron shell keeps the cargo inside safe and sound, while the cannon blasts any attackers to smithereens. What an amazing coincidence. You had the perfect solution in your pocket this whole time, even before you knew what the problem was. This ain't no coincidence. Ever since I found a bunch of blueprints in a tightly locked safe back when I was little, I've taken them with me wherever I go. Never know when Watt's ideas might come in handy. Of course, I'm not just gonna make one of these. Oh no, I'll make a whole bunch of them and send them all over Norvent. Soon, everyone will know how great dwarven engineering really is. But this only shows how it should look from the outside, with no mention of the inner workings. Are you sure you can pull this off? I bet my beard on it. And to be honest, dwarven technology comes a long way. Come a long way since Watt's time. He probably didn't design the insides because there was no way to actually make something like this back then. Luckily, we've got my skills to bring Watt's ideas to life. I'll have a prototype up and running in no time. Listen, Ronit, you're not the only one who knows how to swing a hammer around here. If we combine our efforts, it'll be ready even sooner. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. I must say, I'd be interested to see how all this turns out. I'll let you use my land, as long as you don't turn it into a smoldering crater. You won't regret this, but if we're to build a workshop, we'll need a few more pairs of hands. I'll head back to Tamra and round up some volunteers. Hold it right there. This place is going to be overrun with dwarves. At least give me some way to tell you apart. How am I meant to know who is who if you all dress like that? Not sure if you realize this, madame, but we dwarves don't exactly have extensive wardrobes. But in the interest of a smooth running operation, I'll ask my friend Karat if there's anything we can do. So much for helping. More like bugger off back to Tamra and leave poor Ronit to do everything by himself. Well, you're still here, so you can give me your hand instead. Let's go and take a look at this plot of land, shall we? Welcome to the workshop, or workshop to be, I suppose I should call it. Either way, this is where Watt's vision will become reality. Although I have to admit, it's not going to be easy as I've made out. Having you here does make the task seem less daunting though. And even though I was a bit miffled at first to hear you're into crafting as well, stealing my thunder and all that, I'm glad we got something in common. You can lend me a hand between whatever it is the Warrior of Darkness does the rest of the time. It'd mean the world to me. So what do you say, yo? Will you help me? What the world needs now is tanks. Sweet tanks. Of course I'll help. Woof. I was worried you were gonna say no for a moment there. Now, let's make some tanks. But before that, there are a few things we need to get in order. We won't get much work done without something at least resembling a workshop. If you're in the mood for helping, maybe you could help me wrestle a few concoctions. I've got a list of everything I need. Anyone who so much as brewed a pot of tea should be able to manage it. So I'm sure you'll be fine. As another example of my incredible foresight, I've already had the ffxiv mechatoad collected to load up random, potentially very useful materials on the way over. This should be enough. If you somehow manage to bugger it up, don't worry, we've got plenty more. I'll be taking care of the rest of the preparations, so come and see me when you're done. Ooh. Fuck quality, I'm going for completion. Holy shit. I might have to try this again. shot. I need to upgrade my gear. This is level 65 gear, but I want to wait till I'm level 71 because then the gear jumps a bit. All done? Let's see what you brought me then. Ah, I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it to be quite this good. Not showing off, are you? Me and the mecha toad will take care of the rest, so you go and put your feet up for a bit. Don't want you taking all the credit now. I like this song. I like the clothes. I like the concept. There you are. Welcome to Watts Anvil. The two of you did all this? I can't believe it. Is that you, Ronit? Why, I hardly recognize you. Have you done something with your beard? Well spotted, correct? According to the legends, Watts had a brown beard and white horns. Seeing as I'm his descendant, I thought I'd follow suit. Now that we've got a proper workshop, we can get started on making a prototype of the rolling tankard. To tell the truth, I'm not used to having this sort of pressure. Still, I've got you and the others here to do the heavy lift essential tasks, so I'm sure everything will go exactly as planned. Speaking of essential tasks, I'll be handling the supply of the various parts and whatnot. So come and see me when you're ready to show us those skills of yours. Rana and his fellow dwarves have thrown themselves wholeheartedly into their newest enterprises, namely to provide trending death machines for the needy. Ooh, mystery. Yeah, I'm almost at level 71 already. Just out of curiosity, how much? 5,000? That's enough to level me like at 54. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 540,000. Yeah. That's not bad. That's good. Okay. Let me go to the Crystarium and pick up the quests that I can now pick up as a level 70 crafter real quick. What's this thing? Disciples of my... Okay, so I gotta be level 80 for you. Whoop. Oh, you're up there. I think. Or not. Are you over here? No, you are not. I forgot how confusing the crystarium is. You look like you got the skills of sort we need. Would you be interested in putting them to use at the mean? Wonderful. We can never have enough hands to do all the work that one's doing. To help you get started, I'll give you an overview of our operations. Just let me know when you have a moment. Ready to learn about our operations? Good, good. So as I may have already told you, the crystalline mean is a center for the procurement and production of those items that make the city life possible. From daily necessities to military provisions, we deal in just about everything. Anything. A storehouse and workshop rolled into one we are. Now, the mean is composed of five facets. That's our fancy name for divisions. Each facet is a collective of folk skilled in certain fields who work together to provide for the crystarium. Firstly, there's the facet of forging. As you can probably glean from the name, its members are experts in metalworking. The woman you see there is Lola, the proprietress of the Iron Bellows. I'm told she's been sorely pressed for help lately. Next, we have the facet of crafting, which brings together artisans worked with leather, cloth, and wood. Among them, there is even a lass who specializes in the restoration of artwork and traditional handicrafts. She doesn't appear to be present at the moment, though. Moving on, we have the facet of nourishing, whose mission is to ensure that our denizens are fed, healthy, and I speak not only of people. Bethrick there is a resident veterinarian, and he's charged with looking after our trusty armor room. Then there's the facet of gathering, formed of miners and botanists who procure resources all across Norvent. Overseeing the group is Queshade Gray, a knowledgeable, if eccentric woman. If you have an inquiring mind like her, though, I dare say you'll get along. Last but not least, the facet of fishing. Aside from reeling in bounty of the realm's waters, members also cultivate marine life. Frithric there speaks for the gathering, and whatever folk may say about his leadership, none can doubt his skills and knowledge as a fisher. And that's the 5 facets of the crystalline mean. Under the direction of the settlement council, each does its part to ensure the survival of the crystarium. Well, that's the idea at any rate. The reality is most facet members are individuals with individual interests. They're often busy with their own endeavors and can't always make a meaningful contribution to the common cause. What's this mean? What this means is the mean suffers from a chronic shortage of hands. and every facet is always looking to bolster its roster with new talent. I encourage you to make yourself known to whichever one is a fit for your skills. And so, the crystalline mean is basically role quests for fucking... Holy shit, okay. Was there another quest I can... Right, leaves. Do. Tradeswoman, eh? You've got that look about you. Interesting putting those skills of yours to use undertaking a leave or two. It's all above board, all handled under the auspices of the Crystal Exarch. Worry not. We process and dole out a mountain of leaves every day. Register with us and you can peruse the open ones at your leisure. You'll be compensated too, in case you were afraid we were running some sort of charity, so shall I put your name down in the ledger? Right then. Yo-san, was it? Let me finish filling out this remaining bit of paperwork, and then you'll be all set. Cool. Man, I thought I was done with world quests, but it sure looks like they're crafting role quests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Let's see what this is about. Actually, I'm gonna take a short break, but you won't know the difference because I'm gonna pause the video. Okay. Let me introduce myself. Huh. What a pleasant aroma. Ah, pray forgive me. I couldn't help but notice the fragrance of herbs and spices about you. Are you by chance a culinarian? So you're the guest I've heard so much about. I had no idea you were an artisan, no doubt of the highest order to keep company with the Crystal Exarch. This is such an honor. Goodness me, where are my manners? My name is Bethrick, resident veterinarian and overseer of the facet of nourishing. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no way this grisly monster of a man is fit to handle animals. But you'd be wrong. In fact, my scars only come about from handling the armorer. Don't let their docile appearance fool you. They can be quite feisty. Speaking of which, I have a patient due for an examination. Would you care to join me? I won't twist your arm on their matter, but if you mind to humor me, you can find me over at the Armoro launch. That is a cool looking person. Wait, is that... Oh, yeah, the armor. Ah, so curiosity got the better of you, eh? The poor girl was hurt transporting cargo, and her sadly misguided owner let her wounds get infected. I insisted she stay here until she's made a full recovery. Now then, let's have a look at you. Huh, the swelling's down, and so is the inflammation. A few more days and you should be fit to fly again. She's by far the sweetest animal I've had the pleasure of caring for, and she loves to be pet. Why don't you come closer and see for yourself? Oh, come now. How can you say no to those starry eyes and that come hither and pet me snout? Go on, she won't bite. My word, I've never seen her take to strangers so quickly. Why, it's as if you touched her very soul. You have a knack for caretaking. It calls to mind a gift the Amuro was said to possess long ago. As you've no doubt noticed, the Amuro serve as steeds for transport and the delivery of goods, much like chocobos. The key difference between them, however, is the Amuro were born of magic, a variety of lizard enchanted by mages in the days of the Ronkin Empire, refined further into what we know as Amuro through selective breeding. These arcane magics allowed them to sense the souls of their masters, and even speak. Alas, when the Empire fell, the techniques used in raising the Amuro were lost. While they no longer possessed their preternatural abilities of old, they retained the ability to fly. Oh, what I would give to chase wind and touch the sky. To be an Amuro. There is no finer animal in all of creation. To be reborn as a majestic Amuro would be a blessing. Of course, I can understand if you do not share my enthusiasm. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Lucina. What a pleasant surprise. Finally come for that lecture on Amuro taxonomy. I've no time for your babble of animal facts. You're needed at the stable. An Amuro has been brought in from the fields and it seems to be ill. We fear it may be poisoned. Poison. I'll be there at once. If the solution is dire as it seems, I may have need of your assistance. Please say you'll come with me. You're here. Good. I've just finished a cursory examination. Outwardly, he shows no signs of severe injury, but he has indeed been poisoned. Judging by his breathing, it's already caused inflammation of his windpipe. We must hurry and identify the toxin. Who would do such a thing? Poachers. They've been hunting Amuro, cutting out their tongues and leaving them to die on our doorsteps for some time now. Jesus. We've increased our patrols of the perimeter, but they've proven more resourceful than we thought. At least this time, we succeeded in denying them their prize. And for that, we are grateful, but we must act quickly. Bethrick, I leave him in your capable hands. Bethrick, is everything alright? Oh, yes, of course, only the poachers used poison-laced feed bearing at a striking resemblance to our stores. This Amuro likely believed they were from the Crystarium. He trusted them, and they took advantage of his innocence. Would that I could make them see the error of their ways, but I fear such wicked hearts are beyond reason. I can but try to undo the damage they've caused. And to do that, I would ask your assistance. Come, there's no time to waste. Thank you for coming. I've identified the poacher's poison. However, producing an antidote will prove to be much more delicate a process than I was expecting. You see, this arrow is of a different breed than those I'm accustomed to caring for. All those you've seen here in the crystarium are gray tails. Our patient, however, is a Burby skipper from a region long since lost to the flood. Under normal circumstances, I would be beside myself with excitement. He may very well be the last of his kind, meaning there can be no room for error in the preparation of an antidote. This task calls for an artisan of surpassing skill, one who understands the heart of the blessed creatures. Yo, I believe this is why fate guided your steps to me. I beg of you, help save this Amuro. I knew I could count on you. Based on his blood work and my knowledge of gray tail physiology, I put together a list of ingredients that should produce a rather potent antidote. The rest falls to you. Oh man, I might just start this and not finish it. It depends. Thankfully, the injuries you sustained were minor. The poison, however, is another matter entirely. It has to be flushed out of his system and very soon. What the fuck is this shit? Okay, so I need 3. Okay. Well, I'll be back here later. Once I finish the culinarian quest line to level 70, that is. So it's gonna be a while. But look forward to dwarf social society quests, I should say. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.